So good morning everyone. Today we are going to be discuss about the further question of physics. So I hope so you are enjoying the lecture series of physics. If your colleagues are not interested to just see, so told them the time is less and syllabus is maximum. So we will cover maximum portion and the chapter 3 is over. That's why I have taken the revision of chapter 1, 2, 3. Okay. So without wasting a time, let's start question number 15. So in this question number 15, how is the force between two charges affected when dielectric constant of a medium which they are held increases? Means this is Q1 charge and here Q2 charge. See, when it is in air, so the force is maximum. The force is maximum. But when it is in medium, when it is in medium, the force is minimum. Why it is? For example, suppose I am telling you run in the air, so you will easily run in the air without any problem. But I will tell you run in the water, so your speed is not like that. Previously you was running in air, now your speed is decreases. I means your speed is affected. Similarly, when two charges are in air, so they are consisting maximum force between them. When dielectric medium is introduced between two charges, so obviously here the force is going to be decrease. So hopefully you understood the question number 15. Okay, so this is very easy question. Now we are talking about the next question number 16, and this is very important to understand the question number 16. So let's try to understand the question number 16. When is an electric dipole when is an electric dipole in stable equilibrium in electric field? Okay, the question is asking, give the condition then electric dipole in the stable equilibrium condition in electric field. So that simple answer is when electric dipole moment is parallel to E, means the P is must be parallel to E. The P is must be parallel to E, and this is very important condition here. Okay, so you understood. If anyone is asking the question when electric dipole is in stable equilibrium in electric field, so your answer is sir when electric dipole moment is parallel to electric field. What actually happen in this case? Theta will be 0. Theta will be 0. So when theta will be 0, so obviously this condition is called what? Stable, because cos 0 will be give the value 1. Question number 70. A cylinder of length L and radius capital R is placed in a uniform electric field vector E. What is the total flux passing through the cylinder? So again this question is very easy. What we have to find out? Electric flux. Electric flux by means phi is equals to, what is the formula? Phi is equals to E dot ds. Phi is equals to E dot ds. E is electric field and ds is the surface area. So E remains E here, and you know that the cylindrical length L and radius R is available, and that creates the uniform electric field. So around the cylinder electric field will be created, and this electric field will be in the form of circular, phase. That's why area we have taken here, that is the circular phase. Okay, area that we have taken here, it is circular phase, means answer is pi r square into E. Okay, so this much is very easy. Now we are proceeding with question number 18. This question is already came in Rajasthan Board 2014 examination. So let's start with question number 18. Define equipotential surface. So I told you in the videos and during the lecture, what do you mean by equipotential? A surface at which the electric potential is same at every point, in the surface, it is called equipotential surface. Or you can say that equipotential surface means at every point potential is equal, means potential difference is equal to 0. Potential difference is equal to 0. It is also called equipotential surface. See, the best example of this equipotential surface is charge conductor. Charge conductor means an electric supply is available in your home. Okay, a wire is just connecting to the plug and to your refrigerator. If you are touching any point of this wire, you will feel same amount of current. It means this wire is conductor. This wire is conductor. So in short, I can say that every conductor is equipotential surface. Okay, again I am repeating, every conductor is a equipotential surface. So this is very easy. At any surface, what electric potential is same at every point is called what? Equipotential surface. And the best example is given, charge conductor, or we can say that conductor. Now the question number 10, it's not in cross. These are not in previous board examination, but these are the relevant to the RBSE or CBSE board. So we are not going to be skip any single question here. Okay, so this is very easy. Let's move this symbol here, and I have taken to draw here. Now we are talking about the question number 19. Can two different, so question is, can two different equipotential surface intersect each other or not? So question is, you have a two equipotential surface. At every point the equipotential or electric potential is equal, and that two surfaces are going to be intersect or not. Okay, no. So what is the reason behind that? The answer is no. Okay, because two equipotential surface cannot be intersect because they are normal to electric field lines which do not cross each other. See, the main concept is about the electric field here. Electric field is just perpendicular to the surface area, and you know that electric field is a vector quantity. Electric field is a vector quantity. When you have a equipotential surface, so you have a uniform electric field, and you know that electric field is a vector quantity, and vector quantity does not have a two direction at a single point. That's why I'm telling you, different equipotential surface or two equipotential surface cannot be what? Intersect with each other, because the condition is electric field is normal to the surface. Okay, and electric field is a vector quantity, and this concept I already explained in the videos of chapter number 1. Now let's come to the question number 20. Give two example of conservative force in nature. See, question is, give two example of conservative force. Conservative force. So try to understand what do you mean by conservative force. These are the forces, they are not going to be what? Destroyed. These are the forces that are not going to be destroyed and not created by us. Okay. See, if you create, so this is already existing in this surrounding. You just rub the surface, rub the scale over your head, and piece of paper is attracted. So already these electrons are present in the surrounding. You just what? Given the friction, so electrons for a moment of time come in the motion. So there are two forces. Number one is electrostatic force, and number second is gravitational force. Okay, number one is electrostatic force and second is gravitational force. Now let's come to the question number 21. No work is done. No work is done in moving a test charge over an equipotential surface Y. See, this question is very important because many students have a confusion, like no work is done. How it is? No work is done in a moving a test charge over an equipotential surface. So I told you, if you are bringing a charge from infinite position to definite position, so potential is equal. I means at position V1 the charge Q1 is present, and you are bringing this charge Q1 to at voltage V2. So V1 and V2 both are equal. So when you will do or find out the potential difference, so potential difference V1 minus V2 is equal to 0, means this value is going to be 0. I'm not telling you charge is 0, potential difference is 0, and if you will multiply 0 multiply with anything, that must be equal to 0. So here the work done is 0. So this type of basically question is asked in a NEET examination. Okay, now we are talking about the question number 22. If the Coulomb's law involved 1 upon r cube dependence instead of 1 upon r square, would Gauss law still true? See, the question is talking about that if Coulomb law is following, F is directly proportional to 1 upon r cube. See, in real it is 1 upon r square. Now it gives the condition. If Coulomb's law is following 1 upon r cube, so is it right for the Gauss law or not? So see, the important thing is that if Coulomb's law is depend on 1 upon r cube, it is not necessary that Gauss law would be true for that, because you know that Gauss law is only and only depend upon total charge, and another is nature of medium. Okay, while I was teaching this topic, I told you Gauss law is only and only depend on what? Nature of medium and total charge. It never going to be depend upon 1 upon r square and 1 upon r cube. Okay, so Gauss law will not be true. Okay, I hope so you understood the question number 22. Let's come to the question number 23. A small test charge is released at rest at a point in electrostatic field configuration. Will it travel along the field line passing through this point? See, we are taking a test charge and that is moving according to line of force. Okay, now question is that will it travel or not in the field line passing through that point? So in short we can say that if the line of force is straight line, so the force is not going to be give the direction of velocity. The force is not giving the direction of velocity. It gives the direction in which charge is accelerated. Means here charge is not going to be follow the direction of the force, because charge is a scalar quantity and the scalar quantity is not going to follow the direction. So the answer is obviously not, because charge is a scalar quantity. When charge is accelerated, it will follow the what? Own direction. It will follow the own direction, no doubt. It will obey the force. Okay, so this is very easy question. Let's come to the next sheet. The next sheet is short answer type question. Okay, so let's draw. Question is, obtain an expression for electric potential energy of a system of these 3-point charges. How many charges we have taken here? 3 charges we have taken here. So very important thing is, this question is came in Rajasthan Board Supplementary Exam 2013 and CBSE examination 2015. So let's start this derivation, and I told you one story like that. If a boy is alone, so the boy is not going to do the work. So when single charge is available here, the work done due to single charge is equal to 0. So condition is given that P1 is consisting Q1 charge at distance R1, P2 is consisting Q2 charge at distance R2, and P3 is consisting Q3 charge at distance R3. Now this given statement, you can see that W1 is equals to 0. Why W1 is equals to 0? As you know that electric potential energy is equals to K Q1 Q2 upon R. This is the formula. When only single charge is available, then Q2 is going to be 0. When Q2 is going to be 0, so W1 is also 0, because when you will put Q2 0, 0 multiplied with anything is 0, and 0 divided by anything is also 0. So hopefully you understood the question number 1 starting portion. Now let's come to the next screen. Okay, and let's try to understand what actually the thing is involving here. So in this, now we are talking about the W2. So W2 means potential due to Q1. Okay, potential due to Q1, because Q1 is bringing the charge Q2. So the work is done by Q1 to bring a charge Q2 from infinite to definite position. So the answer is W2 is equals to K. See, this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, this value is K. This value is K. Means this is equals to K. So K Q1 Q2 upon R12. So equation number 2 allotted here. Now Q1 and Q2 is bringing charge 3. Charge number 3rd. Means, so potential applied by Q1 and Q2 to bring a charge Q3 from infinite to definite position. So here we will apply again K Q1 Q3. K Q1 Q3 upon R13, and K again if you will multiply inside K Q2 Q3 upon R23. This portion I am talking like this. So equation number 3. Now total potential energy of the system we have to find out for the charges. So that is equals to U is equals to W1 plus W2 plus W3. W1 is 0, W2 is KQ1 Q2 upon R12, and W3 we already got it. Okay, so KQ1 Q3 upon R13, KQ2 Q3 upon R23. So total potential energy we got it, this final mathematical expression. Now let's come to the question number 2nd. So question number 2nd is also easy. So let's take a pencil. Write the properties of electric field lines of forces is the first type of pattern of the question. Second, write any 2 properties of electric field lines. So here you can see that I told you many properties are here, 4 or 5. You have to write any 4 properties. Okay, here see the question in Rajasthan board 2013, this question is came, and only 2 properties it asked. So it's depend on you which type of property you want to write here. Electric field line is always starting from the positive and end towards to negative. Okay, so the answer is line of electric force start from positive and end towards to negative. See, very easy properties you can select, and you can write here at any tangent point it will show the direction of electric field. Also you can use this electric field lines. 2 electric field lines never cut each other, because electric field is a vector quantity, and at a single point 2 directions are not possible. Okay, and length of the forces tend to contract lengthwise. Line of force exert a lateral repulsion. Okay, see, simple thing you can write, it is a open loop, it is not a closed loop. Like this you can give the answer also here. So this question number 2 is very easy. Only 4 properties you can just remember. If the gap between the electric field line is the same, this is called uniform electric field. If the gap between the field line is different, means not same, it called non-uniform electric field. Like this type of properties you can use here also. Okay, so now question number 3. Derive an expression for a torque produced when electric dipole is placed in uniform electric field, and draw the necessary diagram. CBSE examination 2017 and 2014, this question is asked. So first of all you have to be understand what do you mean by torque. So this derivation I already explained in the video. Torque is equals to PE sine theta You have to draw the uniform electric field, and this torque will be, electric dipole will be here. You have to make an angle. So all this type of things I explain here. So for today, till this question, I'm going to be end the video. The most important thing is that you have to be do the homework, as well as you have to be revise the chapters if you really want it to be in a merit list. Okay. And most important thing I want to just tell your friends, please go through it, the videos. All videos are available on that particular channel, and we are working for you, not for us. Okay. So thank you so much. Have an awesome day.